Hello, fellow human light beings. This is the solar flash update for July 28th. Today we're going to be talking about newly discovered scientific evidence that the Andromeda Galaxy is already merging with the Milky Way. We knew that these two galaxies were going to, quote, crash into each other, unquote, in 4.5 billion years. But science is now coming to the conclusion that this merging has already begun. So what does this mean for planet Earth? What does this mean in regards to the solar flash event? As always, it is my suggestion that you question your reality and then change it. So I'm not here telling you that our galaxy is now crashing head on into the Andromeda Galaxy. That's not what I'm saying. The Andromeda Galaxy is still millions of light years away from us. But we're finding out that these two galaxies are already merging in very significant ways. One of the ways is that we found that there are stars called Hypervelocity Stars. In other words, these have gotten here much faster than the rest of the stars in that galaxy, and those stars have already merged with the Milky Way galaxy. The other thing that we now know is true is that each of these galaxies has a huge, what they're calling a halo, which is actually gas that goes out much, much, much further than the visible stars. And it's sort of like auras. So it's like the auras of these galaxies are already merging with each other, and we're exchanging stars. Very small percentage of stars called hypervelocity stars, which are flying, away from the galaxies really fast, and they're caught up in the gravity. So why this is important is because I have come to find out over the past couple of years, based on my meditations and interactions, that first off, that stars are conscious beings. They are conscious beings just like you are a conscious being. You've chosen to incarnate as this primate on three-dimensional Earth. And you can incarnate in many other ways and still retain your full consciousness. So there are people, there are souls that have incarnated as planets and as stars. So now also I've come to the understanding that galaxies themselves have consciousness. They have an independent, they're a being, just like we have cells. We're filled with, I don't even know how many billions of cells in our body, as well as we have the organs, and each one of the organs has its own consciousness. So we're not just one conscious being. We're actually a community of conscious beings, and just like each soul is individual, it's connected to the whole, and all consciousness is connected. So you can have individual stars that are specific souls that have chosen to incarnate as stars. And then at the same time, you can have entire galaxies having one consciousness. So what we have here is we have kind of a romantic relationship. I'm saying that because I've come to understand that is actually the case. So the Andromeda Galaxy and the Milky Way Galaxy are in the midst of a courtship dance. So I've also found out, and again, I didn't believe in any of this stuff. I didn't believe in star seeds. I didn't believe in there's still a huge amount of this stuff that you find in, New Age things, which sort of overlap a lot of the things that I do experience and do believe, and a lot of it is just pure nonsense. I won't get into all of that. I'm not a channeler. I'm not a psychic. I'm not a prophet. I'm just a normal human being who, is stubborn, and I decided to get it, have an experience in something that there was evidence might be a real thing, and it blew my mind wide open. Um, I'm still not into a lot of that new agey stuff. But the reason why I'm telling you that is that if I tell you that I've had an experience and come to understand something, it means that the experience and the evidence for me has become so overwhelming that it actually overwhelms my innate mindset, which is to reject all of that. And having said that, what I've come to find out is that I am, in fact, an Andromedan. So that doesn't mean that I haven't incarnated in other solar systems and in other galaxies. Obviously, I've incarnated on Earth. I'm a Terran, and I've incarnated in the Milky Way galaxy many thousands of times as a human being. But apparently my essence is from Andromeda. Now, again, I didn't know about any of this stuff. When I did CE5 or human initiated contact with extraterrestrials, I did not have any education in any of this. I didn't know what a star seed was. I didn't know that there were people out there who believed themselves to be Andromedans, or, I'd heard enough of it that I didn't buy into it. So when I started going on these meditative journeys, and I started experiencing a lot of things, one of them was that I was shown that I am from the Andromeda Galaxy. So, I enjoy much of the descriptions of Andromedan starseeds, and I find that even, the New Age, if you go look up what's an Andromedan starseed, and they'll give you a list of stuff. And I know that the majority of those people are just parroting what they've heard from somebody else, and they're conflating a bunch of other things I don't believe in and I don't agree with at all. But I have come to find out that the description of an Andromedan, generally speaking, does fit with my experience of myself. And I've heard that the Andromedans are beings that like water. I'm a surfer. I'm not happy if I don't surf. I'm so desperate to surf. Even today, I paddled out, even though the waves weren't there. I just went out there, in the hopes that something would show up. And, I caught one or two tiny little waves, and then this huge thunderstorm rolled in, and I, had to get out of the water. But that's how desperate I am for that. And I love mountains and forests. That makes it challenging. I now live in Florida. There are no mountains here. I've never seen a flatter place, except one time in my life I drove across the country and I drove through the plains, and that was horrible. There weren't any trees. It was just flat. I really disliked that. I couldn't wait to get out of there. But so a point I'm trying to make is that I do relate to the idea of being an Andromedan. And what this means for us is that the Milky Way galaxy is now merging with a galaxy that has more of the qualities of water. So water tends to find its way into everything. It yields, it absorbs, it has all of the things that you would associate with more of a water personality. And so that's associated with more spiritual, more intuitive, those kinds of things. And I like that idea. And what's most interesting about this is that, of course, you heard my explanation from a scientific perspective. This obviously hasn't just happened. I mean, it's not like these hypervelocity stars and the giant auras of these galaxies merging. It didn't like just happen, last week. It's been going on for, very, very long time. But what is interesting is that it just came to our attention. And so according to science, they've just now come to the realization that yes, we can see from the observations and the calculations and the evidence that yes, in fact, this merging of galaxies has already begun. We didn't know that just a little while ago. So what that means is that the solar flash event is awakening us, and that this solar flash event is in fact part of this merging of galaxies. And the Andromedans are characterized as being extremely advanced spiritually, extremely advanced technologically, and of a much higher vibration than the current human race is. So what we're experiencing is, again, a merging of a higher vibrational, more intuitive, more, quote, feminine energy that is connecting with us. It's been going on for a long time, but the fact that we are awakening to it is illustrated in the fact that physical science is now magically, out of nowhere, realized, oh my gosh, this is already happening. We already are intertwining with this galaxy. So it means that we are beginning to wake up, and, if we look at science from a quantum physics perspective, quantum physics is saying basically the same thing that Vedic and Taoist masters have been saying for thousands of years. So again, what we're seeing is that science, which doesn't have any interest in spirituality, in fact has an agenda to stay away from spirituality, if it's unavoidably coming to the same conclusions as mysticism, then again, and this is a recent event, what we're seeing is that this awakening is in fact happening. And it is happening to such a degree that even the systems that we have that have a bias against anything mystical or spiritual, they are starting to understand this. And so this awareness that the United States, this awareness that the Milky Way galaxy is already merging with this other larger, more powerful, from a spiritual perspective, more advanced galaxy means that we are waking up. And, I haven't gotten into it because the truth is I'm a little overwhelmed at how fast things are changing. And I'm a little overwhelmed at how fast things are changing within me. Emotionally, my ability to tolerate the world has reduced significantly. In fact, I remember not too long ago, maybe a couple of months ago, I got a direct communication from my light being friends who said that I was going to lose the privilege of basically just being able to, block out things in society that I didn't really like. The privilege of seeing that society is a good thing and our society works, and I'm not feeling that at all. I'm feeling very disillusioned. The more that I learn about how destructive and how devaluing our world is on every single level. There's really nothing about how we function as humans on a societal level that isn't saddening or disillusioning. People themselves can be wonderful and beautiful, and they are. But you get a handful of them together, and we start functioning on the level of cities and counties and states and nations. Then all that goes away. The actual community, the love of one person to another, falls apart. And so I've lost my ability to just sort of, explain it away and be a part of it. It's very difficult for me to do that. I mean, if I could, listen, if I could just simply walk off into the mountains somewhere, if I had the ability and the wherewithal to, take care of myself, I would do it. One of the reasons I don't is because I need to surf. If I don't surf, I'm a very unhappy person. I mean, really, to be honest, if I'm not able to surf, I don't want to be here. So that's one of the, in order to surf, you got to live on the coast and have access to, surfing technology and that kind of thing. I guess if I really wanted to, I could go find someplace and, learn how to make my own boards or whatever from driftwood. I don't know. But anyway, you get what I'm saying. Anyway, I am babbling, but I wanted to upload a video, and I've been so the energy that has been flowing through me as a result of these bi-weekly meditations has been so intense, and the personal, what it feels like is every time I do one of these meditations, I get, the human part of me just gets burned away. And so there's less and less of me that's able to come back and just do this human thing. So I'm really just uploading this video just to stay connected to, my business and my life and with you. But I'm hoping that energy will shift. I think astrologically there's a lot going on with me that's going to shift when there's some planets that move out of different locations. But anyway, we'll see. Having said that, my friends, I am excited, and I really want to see this merging of these galaxies. And I like the idea of being able to merge my human self with my Andromedan self. And I like the idea of, again, the whole idea of a 5D beautiful paradise. I had planned on going through some lists that I have done in the past about, how to focus on 5D and bring it into reality, but I'll save that for another time. I just needed to be, human. I am going through this shift, and it's very intense and very powerful, and I'm looking forward to this starting to turn around, because what I'm feeling is, we're in the process, as we're going through this shift, we're in the process of, there's a lot of conflict, as is evidenced by, a lot of crazy things happening in the world. There's a lot of conflict, and I'm finding it a little challenging because I feel it. I can really feel it everywhere. So I'm really having to focus on taking care of myself and making sure I stay in the right frame of mind. And at the same time, going full bore into these meditations. And I think, I'm going to keep doing it because it's important. So I hope you'll keep coming to these live guided interdimensional meditations that we're doing every Wednesday and Saturday at 8:30 p.m. And of course, keep doing the practices. That is the best way that I know how to keep the nervous system able to flow with these shifts. So anyway, I know I babbled a lot, but I just wanted to check in. You won't hurt my feelings if you didn't bother listening to it all. I understand. Please remember, my friends, that you are the most powerful being that has ever existed, and that the universe was created entirely for your personal pleasure, and that when you make your focus to live your deepest dreams coming from your soul, that all conscious beings evolve, and the gods themselves get on their knees and bow before you and worship you. And I thank you for creating me, because without you I wouldn't exist. That's it, my friends. You know where to go. You see all the links here. Go check out the links. And that's the best way to support the channel. And that's it. I'll see you all very soon. Please take very good care of yourselves.